What's up YouTube, it's JackalGoldKick. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got addicted to porn and masturbation as well. Usually I don't wear hats all the time, but I'm too lazy to shave. I really am. Because recent relapses made me have no energy. I will admit that I did relapse the last 2 days, which, I'm still going to go to therapy next week and going to work on some stuff. I'm not going to give up, but I've talked about porn addiction on my YouTube channel before, but I want to talk about specifically in a video how I got addicted to it in the first place. So how I got addicted to it in the first place, I was around the age of 13 or 14, and the trailer I lived in, which you saw at the beginning of my YouTube channel, there was a porn magazine there from someone that used to live there. It was still there, and it started with that. And even before that, was doing the whole masturbation thing, so that was kind of the start of it. And keep in mind, I didn't know that porn can be an addiction until I was like 18 years old, because I was never taught that growing up. That was something they never really told people. I remember in the back of the school book, they said, stay no to drugs, stay no to alcohol, stay no to tobacco, but they didn't say anything about porn. And nowadays, it's becoming more of a reported issue. So, yeah. And then, like I said, it started to progress with the magazine. Then it went from the magazine to internet porn. And then that's when I would say it really got worse and worse. Because the problem with porn nowadays is it's so free and readily available that it's literally everywhere out there. And it went to internet porn, and then it was me switching genres, going from one genre to the next. And I remember before I found that it was an addiction, I was wondering what was going on with me, because I had all these negative emotions. I didn't feel good. And I was wondering, why am I watching genres that aren't relevant, that aren't consistent with who I am in real life? That's something I did research about. And it was in 2018 or somewhere around there, when I was 18 years old, I found out that there's a such thing as porn addiction. And I was like, shit, crazy. And it explained a lot of things. But I couldn't even kick it back then when I found out. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, huge part 2022, I was still using it. The only thing I tried doing to quit it was willpower, and that just doesn't work. I wish it did, but it doesn't. But I would say in late 2022 to now, it's been different in terms of I try a lot more things with recovery, but it still hasn't been successful, to be honest with you. It just still really hasn't. I still have moments where I fall back to the addiction, but I think going to therapy and this medication I'm trying, I got from the doctor that he said could lower cravings. Other things I'm trying that I could apply next to my other ideas I have. I'll see how it goes. The farthest I've gotten off the addiction was almost 8 months in 2024. But what screwed me up is not following through on the plan of dealing with cravings, just leaving the house for a walk, and OCD. And so that's pretty much the base story of how I got addicted to porn and masturbation. And in terms of the negatives, what it does to me, it gets rid of my energy. I have no energy left when I use it. I'm depressed. I have anxiety, low self-esteem. I don't think I'm good enough. Clouds the brain up, and I can't really focus or just have energy or care for a lot of things. You feel numbed out. Your dopamine system's burned out, and you feel like crap, especially if you're watching certain genres because of the addiction. That makes you feel bad, and it's a waste of time. It really is. You get nothing out of it, and it's really a stupid thing, honestly, because you're watching other people do something that you're not even doing. It's fake. And I've wasted so much time on it before. I remember some of the days where I relapsed, I would spend 4 hours, and in my opinion, there's no such thing as moderation. There is no such thing as moderation with addiction. I don't believe in that, because I can't, because anytime I did fall back to it after a long time, the relapses were really bad. It would always be 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 times. Last time, well, recently it was 2 days, multiple times. It's to the point where if even I'm feeling sick and I'm in the relapse mode, I'll relapse, and not to get too much information, but it'll get to the point where it hurts down there because of how much, and I'll still try to do it. That's how bad the addiction has gotten. it got to the point where one of the last relapses I had, I was using 2 phone screens, you know, and it's just this constant loop of going to the bathroom, coming out, and I you know, it sucks. It sucks to deal with this thing. It's not something that, you know, I wish I could go back and change it. But when I think about it this way, the positives, I want to kind of list the positives of it, I guess, to sort of make peace with it in a way. Like the positives of porn addiction, I would say, is because of porn addiction, I lost weight, you know, because it forced me to go for walks to get away from that stuff. It also forced me to make other decisions, like get therapy, because of how it messed my mental health up. And it kind of made me reflect on things in life that like if I never got addicted to porn, I may not even care to lose weight or even get therapy. And you know, the thing about porn addiction is it numbs everything in your life, like most addictions. It numbs everything in your life and makes it to where you don't have to, basically it, you know, numbs things out in your life that you're dealing with. That's what the addiction does. So yeah. So yeah, that's just a video I wanted to make about how I got addicted to it. You know, I think the reasons for using it, especially around that time, is because I said this before on my channel, but I didn't have a good father, you know, and I wasn't treated well by him, especially emotionally, and it created a lot of pain and trauma for me, as well as, you know, my mom would defend us a lot, and there'd be a lot of arguments with her and my dad, but my dad wasn't a good person. Just a lot of trauma from that, and, you know, it's like around the same time I started to have this addiction, I was living an isolated lifestyle for like 12 years now. But I have plans in motion, therapy next week, going into that, and, you know, try to make some changes and get, you know, I think some of the reasons I fell back to the addiction is because of, you know, my life situation, you know, and my mental health, and just a lot of things. But yeah, that's really it for this video, what I got to say about it. My advice for people out there that are struggling with it: first things first, do quit it for yourself. If you're struggling with cravings, leave the house for a walk, or talk to your doctor about it, because they prescribed me something, and I'm trying it out. Gotta give it a few weeks before it starts working. He said it's supposed to help with cravings. We'll see how that goes. And see therapy as well. You know, try places, try things. Just don't only rely on willpower, because it's not going to work, you know. And yeah, I know what it's like to struggle with it. You know, it makes my mental health really bad, and it's the one thing in life I have not been able to kick, unfortunately. But I'm, you know, and that's it for the video. Make sure to check out my gaming channel, JackalGoldKickJGK, if you want gaming videos. Check out JJK Music Reloaded if you want music content, and check out JGK Records if you want to listen to obscure music that you may not know about. And there's merch in the description as well if you want to pick anything like that up. But peace out. That's it for the video.